Good morning. We are here. We are reacting to the July TBR tackle prompt, which actually you probably already know by the time that this comes out, because I'll also be reading the book in this video. But I wanted to just briefly talk about my stack. If you haven't seen my last TBR tackle video, the one for June, then I highly recommend watching that first, even if you're not like interested in hearing about the book, which you should be. It was really good. So I think you should just watch the video for that. But also in that video, I did end up switching out my entire TBR tackle stack for a different stack because there were some books that I wanted to unhaul. But also I had chosen some very ambitious reads for the TBR tackle that I wasn't really feeling anymore, and some that I didn't necessarily even want to read anymore. So I ended up switching them for books that I'm really excited about that are also more manageable. Basically, that's all to say that this stack might look a little new to you. So this is the new TBR tackle stack. It's much easier to hold. I mean, obviously it's only 6 books at this point, but for the 6 books, it's not that long. And since talking about these ones, I've heard even more good things about them, so I'm even more excited about it. So let's go ahead and find out what the July TBR prompt is.
Good evening, campers. You know what time it is. It's TBR tackle time. Gonna have to figure out what we're going to read now, and so we have the wonderful Angela to be our guest prompter. Take it away.
Hello. So, I was told to make a prompt. And I watched some videos, and I don't think I'm going to be one of the crazier prompts, but I think mine's still interesting. But, like, there's one where he's counting rocks. Like, I don't think I can compete with counting rocks.
Oh,
I
thank
did
God.
count rocks for a video.
So glad.
Or
So
anything
glad.
like that.
There's no rock
But
counting
since
in this
I
one.
am Angela from Literature Science Alliance, I figured I'd pick something that's science-based, especially since science fiction is one of my favorite
Love it.
genres. So we're going to use the periodic table.
Oh no.
And so first, though, before we get into the prompt, I want to mess with the stack, because when I was watching videos, apparently I can mess with your TBR stacks.
God
No, I
darn
just
it.
reset mine.
Honestly, I feel as though you give people a little bit of power, because basically TBR tackle has just become a room for sadists, really. They're just like, wow, who cares?
I really don't know how this works, other than I can tell you what to take in or out of your stack.
Don't think anyone knows how it works anymore.
So, unless one of the authors in that stack has the initials of an element on the periodic table, I want you to remove the book with the least amount of pages and replace it with a science fiction or science fiction adjacent book on your TBR. It can be literary, but, you know, I want it to have a sci-fi element.
Okay, I need to look up the periodic table. Okay, I don't think that there's any elements with BB, so Bill Bryson's out. SN, SN, we've got it. What element is that? It's my new favorite element, because this is actually the book that would be leaving my stack, which is The Friend. So, Tin. I knew I loved Tin. I've loved Tin all this time. I like that The Friend just saved itself. Like, I would have been happy to read a science fiction book. Also, it could have meant that I would just continue reading the Expanse series, which I'll probably be doing anyways. But I was really excited about these books, and I would have been really sad if The Friend was taken off, because I've heard even more good things about it since talking about it. So I really want to read it.
All right, so now into the prompt. First, I want you to look at your name. Do your initials match an element on the periodic table? And if they do, look at its
so.
molecular weight.
Okay, my initials are SF. I mean, there is an S and there is an F, but not together. Okay.
But if your initials are not on the periodic table, you can use my initials, which I've already said are AU. It's gold, so 197 pages. So that is this prompt.
I'm literally defeated by that. Screw it, I'm going to put some caveats in. If your username is low self-esteem, you gotta read Fuckboy this month. And if your name is Freshly Read Books, you gotta read the big, chunky Vandermeer Mercurial Peril. There you go. See? I don't care. I'm taking back control of the TBR tackle, people. I'm taking back control. Okay, now, I know some of you might be deflated. Some of you might want a bit of a pep talk. And boy, have I arranged a pep talk for you. Bring in the Disco Cowboy. I haven't actually seen this myself, so I'm ready.
I can go twice as high. Good evening, campers.
What is even happening?
That's your boy DC. That's right, Disco Cowboy, coming at you live in 3D. Your favorite wife swapping, snuff dipping, tobacco chewing, coffee. Well, I got my top 3 books. All right, for the Booker Boy Book Club.
I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this.
It's a sensual memoir of a gentleman whose passionate love for a country girl. It goes crazy. There's prostitutes and everything. Number 2, Disco Cowboy's number 2 choice for the book club month of July. Henry Miller, Tropic of Capricorn, man. Gets freaky, man. Man, New York City, my top number 1 book choice, if you can find it. It's Mickey Spillane, man. It's Bloody Sunrise. All right, this is was a brand new Tiger Man thriller, man. This is a good book right here. You want action, sexy, all that right there.
Okay, I mean, I guess it's good that I'm reading science fiction this month because the prompt, okay, if you haven't been following my TBR tackle journey, when I talked at the beginning of this video about switching up my entire stack, one of the books I took off of my stack was A Peculiar Peril by Jeff Vandermeer, the book that is now somehow the book I'll be reading this month. Here it is. Kieran, this is quite a thing to do to me. Actually, maybe you thought you were doing a good thing because you knew that Booker was coming, and if I got this book on my list during Booker, then that would have been really bad. I mean, I guess part of me is pretty excited because reading the back of the book is like, it gets you excited. If you proceed, you must repeat the following. I have been warned, and the risk is mine. Long live Squishy. I mean, come on. But you didn't know that I had taken this completely off of my stack. I don't even know what book to take off. I don't know. Okay, you know what? Okay, so I would like to say, Kieran, when you watch this video, if you could just throw in the comments which of these books you want me to take off of my stack because I'm reading A Peculiar Peril this month. That would be great. Thank you. So here we go, I guess. See you soon. Oh, hey there. So how's it going? Good. Oh, me? Yeah. Doing pretty all right. Oh, this? You wanted to talk about this book right here? I mean, I guess that's fair considering that is what this video is about. So I guess I'll just, go ahead, and I should probably let you know I DNF'd it. Jeff Vandermeer, one of my favorite authors, who I have met. A book that I have signed by him. I mean, it's not as cool as the other book I have signed by him, which is from a book reading that he did, and there's cute little fox stamps in it. I mean, how cool is that? But still. So I read over 300 pages of this book, which is halfway through the entire thing. It's a big book. Initially, I was liking it. I was surprised by the writing style because it was very readable, which if you are familiar with Jeff Vandermeer, I wouldn't typically use that word to describe his writing. Not in a bad way, not like in a pretentious way, just in like a weird way. Like his writing is very weird and therefore not super readable. And it doesn't hold your hand as it's going through. The best way I can describe it is his books. I doubt if any like 2 people read one of his books and come out the other end thinking the same things about it and like that the same things even happened in it. There's just a lot up for debate. But this book was different than that. It's basically about this guy, Jonathan, who has just inherited a house from his grandfather. And by house, I mean mansion. It's a mansion. It's not just a house. But it's got a ton of like crazy weird stuff in it, like animals that talk and stuff. And it's got like good vibes. And so it was something that I was very interested in initially. But it also jumps perspectives between 3 groups. Only one of those is Jonathan and his friends. And that was also the only one I was interested in. And the other 2 I was quite bored by. And then once that happened, I just started being bored by the book in general, even during the Jonathan sections, which is just strange because like plot-wise, things were happening, like tons of things were happening. So at about 200 pages in, I thought to myself, man, if I was not reading this for a video, I would DNF it right now. But I was reading it for a video. So I kept pushing through for the next 100 pages. And then I started really coming to terms with how much longer I had to be in a book that I really just wasn't enjoying. So I started looking up some reviews to see if other people that had enjoyed Jeff Vandermeer in the past, like what they felt about this book specifically. And that's when I found out that this book is in the YA genre. Now, I'm not some elitist about book genres. Everybody should just read what they want to read. I'm a firm believer in that. And I, on occasion, will read YA books. I would have still picked this book up, even if I actually knew that it was YA, because it's Jeff Vandermeer and it sounds like a very fun, weird plot. However, YA books are just not really my thing anymore. Like, I used to really love them. I cannot explain to you how many YA books I read in high school and even in college. I really loved them. But I just don't enjoy that style of writing that's typical with YA books at this time. That's not to say all YA books, because there's definitely some that I would still enjoy, and I would still attempt even to pick up another Jeff Vandermeer YA novel, because I know that this is his first one, and he might change. His YA writing style might change. But I think that the real thing came with just like the clarity of being like, okay, I wasn't super set up to like this book. And I think prior to knowing that it was in that genre, I felt that way. I felt like all the stars had aligned for me to love this book, and then I just wasn't loving it. And I felt like weirdly guilty about it. But then once I knew that one of those stars wasn't super aligned with it, then I felt better not liking it, which led me to finally being like, okay, it's all right that you don't like a book by one of your favorite authors. And even more importantly, it's okay that you don't finish reading it. So I guess this month of July was really more about self-discovery and growth, and accepting that I gave it my best try. I'll obviously still be reading Jeff Vandermeer, still love him as an author. It's just this one wasn't for me. I'm still really glad that I ended up reading this one finally, or I guess attempting to read this one finally, because it's been on my bookshelf for over a year now, and I feel like big books kind of hang over your head more when they're a part of your TBR than the other books do, because you know just how long it would take of a commitment to actually read them. So I'm glad that this one won't be on my TBR shelf anymore, even if I am sad that I didn't enjoy it like I thought I would. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, even though we didn't get like a full book review in this. Although technically I think the 300 pages I read in this, like I don't think any other book that I've read for TBR Tackle has been over 300 pages. I might have to check that. So this might be the most still that I've read for a TBR Tackle video. But I can't wait to see you next month for the next TBR Tackle. But obviously you can stick around on my channel, subscribe to see more videos that I do. I upload new videos every Wednesday. So I hope to see you then. Bye. Oh, this? You wanted to talk about this book here? I've never seen that before in my life.